My client got approved for 140K. Yes, $145,000 at 0% interest business funding for their business. And I'm going to show you exactly which banks that they went to and all of their data points. We're going to break it all the way down so you can steal their strategy and apply it to your business as well. Let's go. What's going on? It's Colin Brown here from Business Credit Unlimited back. So I'm going to talk about this client that got approved for 145K at 0% interest funding for their business. We're going to talk about their credit score, how long they've had credit history, their credit utilization, unique aspects about their business, and more importantly, if you stick into the end, I'm going to show you exactly which banks that we went to because, spoiler alert, it only took 4 banks to get 145K. So imagine that. Let's get into it. Let's go into it. So number one, look at their credit scores. I always tell you over 720 plus is the best. If you're at 680, 650-ish, it's best to just build up your profile first before even applying. If you're looking for high limit funding, you know, the 6 figures plus in funding, the 100K plus in funding. If you're looking for that, don't try to do it at a 680 and all of that. It's just not going to be worth it. It's something that you probably need to address first before you apply. Now, the next thing, and what you're seeing, by the way, just to back up a little bit, this is our game plan that we create for all of our clients. I've deleted all the proprietary information out. I just literally made a copy and deleted the proprietary information out. So literally what you're seeing ahead of you here is what the client would see on their end when they start with us. And if you're a current client or if you worked with me before, then you know what this is and you've seen this before. But either way, so they have only had a credit history for less than 4 years, which is normally not the absolute best. Right. And if this client's watching this, look, I'm not saying like nothing's wrong with your profile or nothing. I'm just saying that if you haven't had credit history for like at least like 5+ years, you want to bring something to the table, right? That's going to kind of counteract that or kind of balance that out, because typically lenders do like to see a little bit longer credit history, but 3+ years is fine, obviously, because the client got the result. But just typically speaking, you know, you want to have something else going on like this client has, what we'll talk about. So above 524, now that's the thing. This client was above 524, but we'll see if they were able to get approved with Chase or not. So let's see. So one thing that they brought to the table that's great, highest limit being 37K is amazing. Really at a 25K, that really puts you right on the front line of being approved for high limit business credit cards and high limit funding. So having above a 25K and being at a 37K is absolutely amazing. Good job to this client before they even came into me of having this 37K. So this is very, very solid. All right. No derogatories. That's another thing. So if you have like the shorter credit history, make sure it's clean. Make sure that your credit profile is absolutely spick and span. No late payments, no collections, no type of derogatory accounts at all on any open or closed accounts. Another thing is for 3 years, this client actually has a good amount of open accounts. All right, our total accounts, 23, 24, that's great. So that shows a thick profile, right? Unless this is all just one type. Like if this was like 23 personal loans or 23 credit cards, then not as much. But if you have a variety of accounts on there, then this is a great profile. You know, when this client gets to 5, 7, 8 years, this is easy, like an 820, 830 plus profile. The only thing holding this client back is time, really, or their credit score, or the credit score would actually be higher. Okay, so we talked about recent accounts being open. Hard inquiries, we don't really care about hard inquiries over here at BCU because we get those wiped out anyways. And this client ended up getting 4 with Experian and 4 with TransUnion only because of the banks that we applied for. But when they came in, I believe they only had, well, no, they had more and we got them removed. and then they got inquiries, of course. Now we're going to go through and delete these inquiries for this client too as well. So other little notes, a client business is actually in Mississippi. So Mississippi is cool. It doesn't have access to the most variety of banks, but obviously it's good enough. The client had been in business for, I believe, over 2 years. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure though, over 2 years in business. So that's another thing that the client brought to the table, because their personal credit is not the longest. Again, 3+ years is fine for high limit funding, but typically, you want to see a little bit longer, like 5 years is even better. Yes, I take on clients that's like 1, 2, 3 years, but we just set the expectation that it may not be like $250K in funding that they get, depending on what everything else is looking like. But either way, they brought the tenure of the business to the table, and the client has a well-established online footprint. So meaning that the client has a website, client has a Google page, all these different things. So that way, when the banks are looking up their business online, they can actually see that they're a legitimate company, which is one of the more important but slept on factors, again, approved for high limit funding. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is exactly what personal credit cards that this client has and what their utilization was. So we see American Express, we see Chime, we see Discover Bank, we see a local credit union, we see Navy Federal. That's how we got a 35 and a 37K personal limit. That helps out a lot, guys. I'm telling you, I can't stress that enough. A lot of people don't think it's important, but it is. We got an Amazon card, and then the CBNA, which is normally just a store card. But again, we do have some more recent open accounts, which the client was very, very concerned with. They thought that would really hold them back from getting funded, but it didn't. It didn't. Okay. I told the client, like, day one, don't worry, I got you. Our relationship managers don't care about that as much as it would be if you try to apply online or something like that and end up being true. So in total, the client has 114K available on the personal side. This is one of those things that I was saying that the client brought to the table. So maybe you don't have the longest credit history, right? But at least have a higher total credit limit, at least have the tenure in business, at least have the lower utilization and a clean profile. Don't come in with a lower credit history and your credit limits are low. Your highest credit limit is low. You got a brand new business, right? Your total credit limits is like only 10K, something like that. Then you're not really giving that lender wiggle room in order to give you funded, right? So just something to keep in mind. Okay, we're here. So this is exactly which banks that we went to in order to get 145K precisely in funding. So number one was Chase Bank. We sent the client to Chase Bank first. We got this client funded. Even before we went to Chase Bank, we got this client access to some cash so that they could use that to fund the accounts. I believe that the client had 10K in that business checking account with Chase. All right. And we got that client 100K just from Chase. 100K all the way down, literally exactly 100K with Chase. So when you get a 100K with just one bank, it makes it a lot easier to get higher limits or a higher overall approval, right? So this client literally has a 100K credit limit at their disposal with Chase Bank. So that was amazing. Then we had a U.S. Bank, which is only an 8K approval, but sometimes that happens with U.S. Bank, but the client can go in with a second card, and we can hook that up whenever that client is ready. And then we went to Truist Bank, which is also, it was 25K limit there. So that was amazing. And then we had a 25K limit too as well. And all of these banks we use business relationship managers with. Yep. All four of these banks we use business relationship managers with. We went through the proper procedure. We set the client up. We funded the account. We established a relationship, and then we made the connection. The client applied with the business relationship manager, and then boom, 145K. And it took basically no time. So, I mean, this was great for this client, a great win, 145K. I mean, you can't really beat that. And you have to understand, like, for some of y'all see 145K, it ain't 200, or like that's low to you. But you have to understand that every client is different. Like what they're actually looking for, and the number that they're looking to hit is going to be different. Everybody doesn't want 200K and those things. So 145K, this client originally only wanted like 100K, but once they got that 100K with Chase, they were like, let's push for a little bit more at least. So we have some more banks that we could go to, but 145K, the client is set. And this is the exact banks that we went to literally. Okay. Chase Bank, US Bank, Truist, and then Wells Fargo. And all of these cards have a 0% APR period for 12 months. So this client can enjoy 145K for literally a whole year to grow their business. And that's pretty much it. I want to keep this one very simple. Like I always say, you want to bring something to the table. And if you're not ready yet, it's okay. Just get ready. Focus on the weaker points about your profile. Or if it's your business, if you need to build up your business, you need to start establishing some revenue in your business, or you need to wait a little bit longer so your business is a little bit more tenured, do that as well. Don't strike until you are ready, because there's a million other things that you can be doing. But if you are ready, it's time to strike. If you're somebody that's just sitting there because you don't know exactly which banks to go to, you want to mess nothing up, you want it done the right way, you want to get higher limits instead of trying to go and apply online and then you get lower limits, it's okay. I am here. You're already here anyways. So you might as well get with me and my team so I can get you 145K or 200K or 250K, or maybe you just want 75, whatever the case. We can get that for you more than likely as long as you qualify. So to see if you qualify, just hit the description below. You want to fill out that survey. It's going to ask you some questions. If everything looks good, you can hop on a call with either me or my team, and then we'll build out a custom funding strategy live on a call with you to see what we can get you and see if it will work, if it's a good fit. If not, it's not. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Either way, I wish the best for it. I want you to get funded, whether it's with me, somebody else, or by yourself. But if you're looking for the help, then I'm here. But either way, that's pretty much it. Wanted to show you this funding strategy and break it down for you. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Engage with me. Let me know if you have any other questions. Until the next time, I see y'all. Peace.